Now we begin with the first category of the ratios or the financial tools for evaluating profitability of a business or performance of a business. And friends, as I was telling you in the very beginning, if we have to analyze profitability of any business, we will do this analysis or we can do this analysis from four different perspectives. And what those four different perspectives are? Those four different perspectives are: number one, we can analyze profitability of any business from the perspective of sales. So we can look at the profitability in the context of the sales of that company or revenues of that company or the total income of that company. That's number one. Number two, we can look at the profitability of a business from the perspective of capital providers to the business, isn't it? So, anyone who provides capital to a business, whether by way of debt or by way of equity, obviously he is providing that capital because he has certain return expectations from the entity, from the business. So, the lenders will have the return expectations in the form of interest, and the equity holders or shareholders, they will have a return expectation in terms of dividend and also in terms of capital appreciation. That means the price at which they bought the share, they should be able to sell this share at much higher price. So we can also look at the profitability from the perspective of capital providers. And the third thing that we can also evaluate and analyze profitability of a business is from the perspective of assets utilization. Remember, all said and done, how does a business make a profit? A business makes a profit by virtue of using the assets. So जितना efficiently, जितना effectively, जितना frequently और जितना ज़्यादा एक बिजनेस अपने एसेट्स को यूटिलाइज कर पाएगा, उतनी अच्छी उसकी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी होगी. सो द थर्ड एंगल टू एनालाइजिंग द प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ऑफ अ बिजनेस is from the perspective of the assets utilization. We will understand as to what is the ratio that will help us to find out as to how efficient or effective this business is in utilizing the assets. And finally, friends, we can also look at the profitability from the overall perspective. So there is a one single ratio, and that single ratio, I can tell you at this point in time, is known as economic value added. So by looking at the economic value added, you would be able to gauge and find out as to how this company is doing from the perspective of sales, how this company is doing from the perspective of the capital providers, and from the perspective of the assets, and that is your economic value added. Now, before we start looking at all these indicators, all these numbers, all these ratios, let us first quickly understand as to what is the profitability. How do we understand profit? And please remember, friends, so we can understand profit as gross profit. We can understand profit as EBITDA. We can understand profit as EBIT. We can understand profit as EBT. We can understand profit as EAT. We can understand profit as earning per share. We can understand profit as cash earning per share, and so on and so forth. So let us quickly refresh our understanding as to what is gross profit and how do we arrive at it. Let us quickly understand what is EBITDA and how do we arrive at it. What is EBIT and how do we arrive at it. And let us also understand as to what is the EBITDA cost. Let us also understand what is the COGS. So quickly we will have some time understanding as to what are the different components of profitability and how these different components of profitability can be used for evaluating evaluating performance of a business. So how do we look at the profitability or the different components of profit? So the first and foremost what we have is the sales, and sales is also known as top line. And why it is known as top line? No rocket science, because the figure of the sales is appearing on the top of the statement, in the top line of the statement, and that is why sales is also known as top line. Now from the figure of top line or from the figure of sales, what do? We deduct the material cost and we deduct the manufacturing expenses. And when we deduct the material cost, and the manufacturing expenses from the figure of sales, what we get in our hand is known as gross profit. So what is gross profit? Gross profit is sales minus material cost and minus the manufacturing expenses, and what we get in our hand is your gross profit. Now friends, let's understand the total of material cost and the manufacturing expenses put together is known as COGS. So what is COGS? COGS is cost of goods sold. So from the figure of sales, when we minus the COGS, effectively what we are getting in our hand is the gross profit. From this gross profit, what do we do? From this gross profit, we minus something which is known as SG&A, selling, general and administrative expenses. So when we minus the selling, general and administrative expenses from the figure of gross profit, what we are left in our hand is known as EBITDA. EBITDA is earning before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. EBITDA, friends, is also known as cash operating profit. And why it is known as cash operating profit? Because EBITDA figure tells us as to how much cash we are getting from the operations of the business, and that is why this figure is known as EBITDA. Friends, this figure of EBITDA is extremely crucial, extremely important from the perspective of the future of the company and also from the perspective of valuation of the company. And why is that so? आपने देखा होगा, सुना होगा, पढ़ा होगा कि बहुत सारे केसेस में जब किसी कंपनी का वैल्यूएशन करा जाता है, the multiple that they use for the purpose of valuation of a business is known as EBITDA multiple. And I'm sure you must be wondering as to why they take EBITDA as the multiple for the purpose of valuation. So it may be 10x of EBITDA, 20x of EBITDA, 30x of EBITDA, that is taken as the value of a business. So why EBITDA is taken as the value, as the basis for the purpose of valuation? And that is because, remember, अल्टीमेटली एक बिजनेस की कीमत कहाँ से मालूम पड़ेगी? एक बिजनेस की कीमत मालूम पड़ेगी कि वो बिजनेस कितना कैश जनरेट करता है, isn't it? So a business will become valuable only if that business is generating EBITDA. If a business is not generating EBITDA, doesn't really matter as to what kind of assets that business may have, this business will not have much value. तो जितना ज़्यादा आप कैश जनरेट करेंगे, जितना ज़्यादा आपकी EBITDA होगी, उतना ज़्यादा आपका वैल्यूएशन होगा. That is number one. That is number one as to why EBITDA is important. Number two, friends, why EBITDA is important, and please understand the number two why EBITDA is important, because EBITDA has a direct bearing. EBITDA has a direct relationship between the borrowing capacity of the company, between the borrowing. So there is a direct relationship between the EBITDA and the borrowing capacity of a company. And I'm sure, friends, a question may be coming to your mind as to how EBITDA is connected with the borrowing capacity of a business. And please understand, it's very simple. When I borrow in my business, I get cash, no doubt about it. But together with that cash, friends, I also get two obligations. And what those two obligations are? Those two obligations are, number one, I have to service that debt which I have taken. That means I have to pay interest on that debt that I have taken. And number two, I also need to pay this debt which I have taken from a bank or whoever it may be. So what is the relationship between the debt and the EBITDA? The relationship in the debt and EBITDA is कि अगर एक बिजनेस की EBITDA स्ट्रॉन्ग है, मजबूत है, ज़्यादा है, तो ये बिजनेस उतना ज़्यादा बोरो कर सकता है. और ये बिजनेस उतना ज़्यादा बोरो क्यों कर सकता है? बिकॉज बिजनेस की EBITDA स्ट्रॉन्ग है. इसका मतलब बिजनेस के पास में जो कैश प्रॉफिट है वो काफ़ी है. काफ़ी किस चीज़ के लिए है? फॉर पेइंग द इंटरेस्ट एंड ऑल्सो फॉर रीपेइंग द लोन. अगर एक बिजनेस की EBITDA वीक है, will this business be able to borrow more? And the answer is no. And why this business will not be able to borrow more? And that is because since the EBITDA of this business is weak, nobody will lend money to such a company. And why nobody will lend money to such a company? Because EBITDA is weak of this company. So if I give loan to a company like this, how will this company pay me interest? Because EBITDA नहीं है या कम है. How this company will pay me my money back? Because EBITDA नहीं है या कम है. So that is the importance of EBITDA. Please remember, EBITDA is future of a business. EBITDA is lifeline of a business. EBITDA is oxygen of a business. So whenever you have to do the evaluation of any company, the first thing that you look at is how is EBITDA of that business. So a business having a very strong EBITDA will get very good valuations, and a business having low EBITDA will get very low valuations. And why? Because a business which is having a high EBITDA, please remember, can borrow more, and when you borrow more, what you can do with that borrowing, you can expand your capacities, and by expanding your capacities, what will you achieve? You will achieve higher turnover, and you will achieve higher profit. So that means, by virtue of EBITDA, you are able to borrow more, and by borrowing you are able to expand more, and by expanding more you are able to earn more profit. And that is the significance of EBITDA. From the EBITDA, what you do you minus the depreciation and amortization. We all understand what is depreciation, what is amortization. So from the EBITDA, you minus the amortization and depreciation. What you get in your hand is known as EBIT, earning before interest and tax. EBIT, friends, is also known as operating profit. So whether you say EBIT or you say operating profit or you say PBIT, they are all same. PBIT is profit before interest and tax. EBIT is earning before interest and tax. What is the difference between the two? Zero. There is no difference. EBIT and PBIT and operating profit are three names to same thing, and that is your operating profit. Now, from the EBIT, what you do, you minus your interest, because earning before interest and tax hai. So the first thing what you do, you minus the finance cost, interest, and what you get in your hand is known as EBT, earning before tax. From the EBT, what do you minus? You minus the tax, and what you get in your hand is known as EAT. Now EAT is earning after tax. EAT is also known as EAT. EAT का मतलब है eat, और eat का क्या मतलब है? eat का मतलब ये है कि अगर इस कंपनी का eat पॉजिटिव है, अगर एक कंपनी का अर्निंग आफ्टर टैक्स पॉजिटिव है, दैट मीन्स दिस कंपनी कैन ईट एंड नॉट अदरवाइज. So that is your earning after tax. So you call it earning after tax, you call it profit after tax, you call it net income, you call it net profit, you call it bottom line. They all mean the same thing. Now friends, with this understanding of the profitability, let us look at the four different aspects that we use for the purpose of evaluating the profitability of a business. And I'm sure you will remember what those four aspects are. Those four aspects are: number, from the perspective of sales; number two, from the perspective of capital provider; and number three, from the perspective of assets utilization; and number four, on the overall basis. Now before we start looking at these four elements of profitability analysis, in case if you have any question, any doubt, you can please ask me, else we will move forward.